The 2022 tax filing season will open from 1st July to 24 October 2022. Taxpayers are encouraged to file their returns on e-filing www.sars.filing.co.za or on the South African Revenue Service SARS Mobi app. This year, SARS will continue with the auto assessment of individual taxpayers, which is pre-populated income tax return to help simplify the submission process. In 2021, more than 3 million taxpayers were also auto-assessed. The timely and accurate submission of tax returns not only ensures taxpayers remain compliant, but it also helps government to deliver services to South Africa who need them most. On special messages, Cabinet extended its congratulations and well wishes to the following: Judge Owen Lloyd Rogers, following his recent appointment as a judge of the Constitutional Court of South Africa. Cabinet joined President Ramaphosa in wishing former President Thabo Mbeki a happy 80th birthday, which is celebrated on the 18th June 2022. Mr. Mbeki envisioned a bright and a prosperous future for all South Africans. On the appointment, all appointments are subject to, as said before, to verification of qualifications and relevant clearance. Non-executive directors of the South African Civil Aviation Authority Board, which comprised of the following: Mr. Ernest Kosa, Ms. Bulelwa Koyana, Ms. Sandra Soklala, and Ms. Rejoice Edith Pewa. Members of the Office of Disclosure of Home Loan and Mortgage Disclosure, Ms. Kinosi Pel Luis Selani, Chairperson, Ms. Catharina Maria van der Sant, Ms. Errol Vincent Magaman, Advocate Mandla Lulu, Mr. Muchwabane Gabriel Melo, Ms. Palisa Mawasha, Ms. Penelope Ann Beck Paxton, Ms. Piwa Doris Mainga, Ms. Chifiwa Victor Mapingalale, and Mr. Zuko Namani. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Minister. I think we'd invite Dr. Pasha.
Thank you very much, DG. Greetings to my colleague, Minister Gungubele, to the other DG present of DG of Health, and to our chairs of our ministerial advisory committees, the Advisory Committee on Social Behavior Change, Bishop Mpumulwana, thank you very much for your presence, and Professor Koleka Mlisana, our co-chair for the Ministerial Advisory Committee on COVID, and representing the MEC on vaccination, Dr. Leslie Bamford from the department, who's a member of that Ministerial Advisory Committee on vaccination. Ladies and gentlemen, today we believe it's indeed a very historic day where we have reached a major turning point since the outbreak of COVID-19, both in the world and in our country specifically. And I'll take you a brief journey back as to where we come from. We recall that our first case was confirmed on the 5th of March 2020 in Pietermaritzburg from a South African who had traveled to Europe. Subsequent to that, President Ramaphosa constituted the National Coronavirus Command Council, and following a meeting on the 16th of March, he announced a nationwide lockdown, which was to take effect from the midnight on the 19th of March. So just over 2 years and 3 months to where we are today, with a strict stay at home. I hope you still remember that, unless you had permission to undertake very essential services. Since then, we have gone through full 4 waves of the COVID-19 pandemic. with the first three waves causing major devastation with a lot of loss of life across all sectors of society, including health workers. And on this note, Chair and Minister Gungubele, I think we also remember our colleague, former Minister Jackson Tembu, who used to preside over this kind of briefings, who was one of the victims of this COVID-19 pandemic. Disruptions of social and economic life have been huge, most painful of all being families unable to visit loved ones who are seriously ill with this virus in hospitals, and even more so that those who passed away had to be buried under strict conditions with only a few family members able to attend. On the economic side, we've witnessed major losses of jobs, closure of several businesses, especially small businesses. But we also see that even big businesses have suffered. We know of many hotels, especially the hospitality industry. There are many hotels which up to today have not yet opened. To delay the spread and allow health facilities to prepare, even as the lockdown was slowly lifted or reduced, a risk-adjusted strategy was used to continue to contain the spread. In February 2021, we started with the vaccination program under the Sisonke program led by the South African Medical Research Council, starting with health workers and follow with the educators. In May, the same year of 2021, we were able to start with high-risk population on an age-adjusted risk, starting with the 60 and above, and progressively moving through the ages until we could reach to the young people, the children of 12 to 17 years in November 2021. We want to take this opportunity on behalf of all government to thank all South Africans for their support and cooperation over this last 2 years and 3 months. While there was a lot of common ground and agreement even across political divides, political parties early in the pandemic, when we all thought it was going to be a short stint and it will be over in a few months, the longer it took, the more people felt the fatigue and disagreements emerged on strategy on how to, whether the government was correct in the measures taken. We appreciate the fact that notwithstanding those disagreements, even leading to court actions or threats of court action, but essentially, the main frame of our approach of protecting society by flattening the curve did remain in place, and a lot of South Africans supported that. So we want to thank South Africans for the resilience in internalizing various measures of prevention and mitigation against the virus, some of which are going to help us even going forward in dealing with some of the old infectious diseases like tuberculosis, also just managing diseases, seasonal diseases like influenza. I'm very pleased to, from time to time, listening on the media, even early this morning when people were interviewed, many of them said, we're not ready to drop the mask because we know that it has helped us. The mask have helped us to avoid flu and other diseases, and we have seen that it works. So these are some of the legacies which we will keep. We thank the collective leadership of our country across all sectors, such as the faith leaders, civil society, traditional leaders, business, academia, youth, women, for rising to the occasion. Even though we did not realize our goal up to now of 70% vaccination, which we had thought we would reach by December, and we had the capacity to do that, at least of the adult population. We take solace on the achievement that as of last night, 37.7 million doses of vaccination have been administered to 20.09 million individuals, adult individuals, and 1.9 million children of between 12 and 17 years. So all in all, just a little short of 22 million South Africans have had a jab. We applaud also especially the big turnout of the 60 plus age group who surpassed the 70% coverage. As we speak, the 60 plus age group stands at 70.5% coverage with at least one dose. And also the 50 to 59, just over 66% coverage. We believe that the big turnout of the over 50s contributed hugely to the reduced severity and hospitalization and reduced mortality, which we have witnessed in the fourth wave, which started in the middle of November. And even as infections persist today with the smaller fifth wave, which we've just exited, the mortality and severity rate have been smaller. And we attribute this largely to the fact that the over 50s have vaccinated at just below 70 on average, with the over 60s having surpassed 70%. Because also this is the age group which is